Okay, so let's do the deck tech for my round 3 opponent here. This deck is a Rest in Peace Helm of Obedience combo deck, so I've got it laid out here, kind of based on what the cards do. Over here, this is his combo. Rest in Peace makes it so that if a card would be put into a graveyard, it's exiled instead, and that combos with Helm of Obedience, which has a lot of text if you don't know the card, but basically puts cards into the opponent's graveyard. If you were playing it fair, you'd pay X, and that puts that number of cards into a graveyard. However, when Rest in Peace is in play, none of the cards ever get to the graveyard because they're exiled instead, so all you have to do is pay 1 for X, and it exiles your opponent's entire library. Because it says opponent puts cards from the top of his or her library into his or her graveyard until a creature card or X cards are put into the graveyard this way. With Rest in Peace out, they never actually get in the graveyard. The entire library gets milled, and then the opponent loses next turn from drawing an empty library. So that's the combo. That's what he's trying to do, is get both of these pieces online. And this next column, he has the stuff to help him find those combo pieces. Brainstorm is one of the best card draw spells ever. Tinker will allow him to tutor up Helm of Obedience if he has another artifact in play. Jace will allow him to have free Brainstorm every turn, and Jace, of course, also has other ridiculous abilities, like he can control the game by fate sealing the opponent or returning creatures. But you know, that free Brainstorm every turn is pretty important. And then Gush is great card draw, where you can do it at instant speed for, no mana. And then Enlightened Tutor allows him to search and find either Helm or Rest in Peace, because it grabs an artifact or enchantment. And then in lands, he's got Library of Alexandria, which is a utility land which allows him to draw cards if his hand is full, so that's more digging. And then right here he's got his mana base, which is Plains and Islands and Tundras, and then Flooded Strands, which are fetch lands to grab those, and Caracas, which against my deck doesn't do anything. It's just another white mana source. And then 2 mana artifacts here, Mana Crypt, which adds 2 for 0 and maybe deals 3 damage to you every turn, and Soul Ring, which adds 2 for just 1. And then the rest of his lands here is just his utility lands that'll help him control the board a little bit. Strip Mine, Wasteland for land destruction, Maze of Ith to stop attacking creatures, and then Tabernacle to hose creature decks. And my deck, definitely I'm going to have lots of creatures out, and I'll have to pay a lot for them. Since he doesn't have any creatures, essentially, this doesn't affect him any. And then this column is all his stuff that he's using to control the game. Engineered Explosives here can destroy potentially a lot of permanents with just 1 card, depending on how it plays out. Balance can be a combination Wrath of God, Mind Twist, and Armageddon all in one if played correctly. But at its very worst, it'll wipe the board of creatures since he has no creatures in his deck. Swords Plowshare's little combat trick to get rid of pesky creatures. Force of Will is the best counter spell ever printed. Energy Field basically stops his opponents from being able to attack him. The good thing is it does have that weakness of when a card is put into your graveyard from anywhere, sacrifice Energy Field, so I can hit maybe one of his lands with Wasteland or something like that, and then Energy Field's gone. And Mental Misstep is another free counterspell. And then over here, Blightsteel Colossus, this is his plan B. If things aren't working out with his Rest in Peace and Helm combo, he can Tinker up, Blightsteel, and then he's got a 1-turn kill. And down here in the sideboard, I think all he's going to bring in against me are these 4 Energy Fluxes, which could be really annoying, or depending on what sort of lands I have out, could work out. And he'll bring in another Engineered Explosive to try to kill off all my little mirror tokens and whatever. And the Meddling Mage, Linvala, I don't think he'll bring in Linvala. I mean, all that really stops in my deck is the Steel Overseer and the Arcbound Ravager, I guess. Maybe. I'm not real sure. I think him having no creatures might be better for him just because it's balance, and I'm not real sure. He might bring that in. And then Grafdigger's Cage and Flusterstorm he won't bring in against me. So there you go. There's the Rest in Peace combo deck. I think the games are just going to be a battle of who can get things done the fastest. If he can get an energy field out and control the board, he's going to stop me. If I can dump my hand and attack for 1,000,000 in 3 or 4 turns before he can do that, or before he can assemble the combo, then I'll win it. So I think it's just going to be about that. So there we go.